Here we go. Here we go. Hello, hello.
Guys, I'm sorry to hold you up.
Oh, no, you're doing good. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for asking.
Listen, Eric, before we go 1 minute further.
Don't let him touch anything.
I am from Brooklyn originally. I'm a New Yorker. I tell it like it is. No smoke up anybody's ass, and I don't kiss ass. All right? I want to tell you, I have followed your career from the get-go. I love what you do on screen. You are powerful. You are mighty. You grab control. You're a fucking actor, a good actor, a great actor.
Kind of you.
I so much, when I work, I so much think of having your power and strength. The movie I remember you mostly.
No, we're not going to talk. We have to introduce him and stuff before you start talking about all that shit.
I just get excited.
We're married. We fight a lot. It's just normal. So don't worry about any of that. So, all right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, Academy Award nominee, 3-time Golden Globe nominee, superstar, actor extraordinaire, Eric Roberts. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the kind words earlier. Thank you.
No, they're not kind. They're not kind words. They're the truth.
Yeah, he doesn't say it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said a word.
No. Seriously, I hate when people say, "Oh, that's kind of you to say so." I said it's not kind. It's the truth. If you stink, I'll say you stink too.
I was thanking you for the kind words. They were so nice. Thank you very much.
True kind words.
So hold on, let me introduce you to everybody. So this is my cool, outrageous man about town, Ron Russell.
Hi, Eric. I'll meet you Saturday. Are you going to be at the red carpet for your movie?
I have no idea. You'll have to ask my boss.
Oh, well, I would like to meet you and have some pictures with you because, you know, Kazmina is a dear friend of ours, Eugenia, and she's gorgeous. She's like the new Grace Kelly.
Hang on. Let me finish the introductions.
Why do you always have to step on
so
my
I'm Jimmy
lines?
Star, Eric. It's super nice to meet you. We have a chat room with about 30 countries in the chat room. So please say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, 30 countries. Wow, cool.
And then we have one lady who's a real big supporter of the show. Her name is Dawn, and she said she watched all your movies, like 10 of your movies yesterday. So please say hi to Dawn.
Hey,
she's
Dawn,
asking me
for watching movies.
There you go. All right, now we got you ready to rock and roll. Man, you look fabulous too. I want to tell you. So before we even knew you were coming on, because we're stuck inside every night with nothing to do except for when we get invited places. So we're on looking at movies all the time, and we watched one of your movies the other night. And it was called The Nature of the no, that wasn't it. Final Analysis. And man, were you a motherfucker.
That's my wife's favorite movie I'm in.
Oh my God, it was a great movie.
Well, again, you belted it out. You know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but some actors are so wishy-washy that when you see them on screen, you fall asleep. You say, come on, get with the program. Can you act a little maybe? You exhaust me because you have such power on screen. That movie I'm talking about, what is it called?
Oh, he likes. We're gay too, by the way, because we're married, and he loves It's My Party.
It's My Party. You absolutely destroyed me in that movie.
Thank you so much.
No, you really destroyed me. You were so.
Undertook.
You should have gotten an award for that movie. There should have been some kind of a something for you.
Academy Award.
Because you did your guts. That was a gut movie.
Thank you.
You threw your guts at the camera.
So you guys, the films we're talking about, Final Analysis with Richard Gere, Kim Basinger, and Uma Thurman, which is just a sick, awesome. I mean, he is
I love Uma.
He's such a fucker in it.
Leaving out a great director, Phil Joannou. He's a fantastic director.
I love it. And then It's My Party, you guys, with Bruce Davison, Margaret Cho, Lee Grant, Olivia Newton-John, George Siegel, Gregory Harrison. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people. And that was a great movie. And it was also the first gay movie I think I had ever seen, except for Making Love.
I don't think it was a gay movie. I think it was a movie
about
gay
topic.
It was a movie about the times. It was not a gay movie. This movie was telling it like it was back then when it was when everybody was dying, and Eric did a beautiful job with it.
So we're going to make sure that we talk about your new movie too, but we have to talk about a few other things first, because first of all, and like Ron and I like different movies, but for me, because I watch Best of the Best at least probably like every 6 months. It's like my favorite freaking movie like ever. And I don't like a lot of martial arts films, but I like all those films. Can you tell us a little bit something cool? Because I know it spawned a whole bunch of other films, but it's such an emotional, cool, especially now during the Olympics, thing to watch. I just watched it the other day because of that. Tell us something cool about Best of the Best, because it literally is like my favorite martial arts movie ever done ever.
Okay, something that that the people wouldn't know. You mean, right?
Yeah, something fun.
Let me see. Dehan coming to the rescue in Best of the Best Part 2 was only thought of last minute. He was not going to be in Part 2.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
And you're a real martial artist, right? Like that's really you doing everything. You're like a real badass.
Well, that's me doing everything, but I'm only half a martial artist, believe me.
Oh, that's your grandchildren. Hi.
Hey, Eric.
I'm only half a martial artist anyway.
Eric, do you think there's such a thing as talent in DNA? Like you're the Barrymore family. You know, your daughter Rebecca, your
No,
sister.
not Rebecca.
Rebecca, isn't it?
No.
What is his daughter?
Emma.
Emma. Who the hell am I thinking of? Who
Close
am I
enough.
thinking of? Rebecca. Thinking of somebody else. I'm on steroids right now and I'm loaded. I feel weird. No, really. I was hallucinating.
He has bronchitis. So.
I was hallucinating all night long. The son of a bitches gave me poison and I'm flying all over the place. But anyway, your daughter, yes, Emma, who's fabulous and beautiful. And of course, your sister, who's wonderful. Your family is like the Barrymores. You have DNA. You have DNA talent flying all over the joint.
Well,
You think so?
I think like anything else, it's inherited through your genes. It is
Right.
part of what you are. Yeah, like if we were athletes, it would be because of our parents. But we're actors. It's because of our parents.
So you believe what I believe. My mother was Jenny Gabriel, the silent movie actress. And I believe that I've got all whatever I've got from my mother, because she was an intense actress. Because back then in the silent years, there were no voices. So they had to emote everything, you know, over exaggerate. And I feel sometimes that I feel it is DNA for sure. Look at the Barrymores. My God, there's so many of them.
I know.
I mean, Ethel and John and Drew. Whew.
You probably know all of them too, right?
No, he's too
I'm an
young.
old friend of Drew's. So Drew and I go back as far as like 1982.
Oh yeah, that's when I graduated high school.
Ethel and Lionel and John are way before his time. I'm 81 years old, so I've been with all the old bags. I'm old Hollywood. I was friends with Betty Davis and Jane Russell and all those people because they were my peers, or actually older. And Betty was an actress. Jane was a beautiful woman, not a great actress, but a beautiful woman to look at. Betty didn't care what she did or how she looked. Did you ever meet Betty?
No.
Oh, that's sad because she was quite a character. The thing
my manager worked for her briefly. His name was Bill Tresh.
And he must have been suffering. She was tough.
Yeah, the stories weren't happy. And my wife did, I think it's her last film, the horror. Hey, Eliza, what's the film you did with Betty Davis? Burnt Offering.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Okay, I know that movie.
Yeah,
right.
My wife Eliza Roberts did that with Betty. The stories are great.
Yeah. Betty Davis, the thing I found fascinating about her was, and I don't know how she did it, she'd have a scotch in one hand, cigarette in the other, and she would inhale a cigarette and drink the scotch at the same time without choking. And the cigarette smoke would come out as she was swallowing the scotch. And I found that fascinating. I mean, really, it's something silly, but, you know, she was okay with me. I knew her in her old age, right before she died.
With the drink and the cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah, but she did it. You know, I mean, I would choke if I had scotch and a cigarette. I would gag. She knew how to get the smoke down and swallow a scotch at the same time.
That's hilarious. Our chat room, by the way, is also saying congratulations on your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Since they heard them in the background. And it's how many grandchildren do you have?
We have one who's 2.5 named Georgia, and one is brand new named Rhodes.
Yes, I saw pictures on.
So they'll be coming into the business soon too.
You never know.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Good work. I mean, your sister's a good actress. Your daughter's a good actress. You know.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, you there's not one sloppy one among you. You're all good.
So much.
So I want to do a little.
It's a fact. I mean, I'm not making this up.
I want to do a little bragging,
wait a
you
minute.
guys.
Everybody out there knows your family. and everybody knows that they're good actors, so it's not a bullshit story.
Okay, we got that. No
Do
more
you-
bullshit.
No.
Are you guys aware of my latest job that I'm so proud of?
Tell us.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yes.
You guys know the show?
Yes, I do, and I have a friend.
Unbelievable show! Oh my God, what a show!
I actually was supposed to give you a shout out because there's I have a production company. I produce films also, and it's in Georgia and North Carolina. And Alessandro Fulcito, who's a big stunt guy in Atlanta, sent me a thing when I put the picture up on Instagram that you were coming on, saying, "Oh, I just worked with him on Righteous Gemstones. Say hi. He's a cool Italian
let
actor."
us know, what is Righteous Gemstones? Tell us.
If you don't know what it is, you've not served yourself properly. It's probably the funniest show right now on television. It's on HBO, and Google it. Google it right now while we're on the air.
It's hilarious. Okay, I'll Google it while you guys are like
We'll watch
chatting.
it. We'll watch it tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to make you so happy. The first season was a huge hit, so we just got through with season 2. It hasn't aired yet, and I play an old friend of John Goodman's who shows up out of his past.
Oh, sounds interesting. I like when I do past stuff.
So here we go, you guys. Righteous Gemstones, well into the second generation of a grand televangelist tradition, the world-famous Gemstone family is living proof that worship pays dividends in all sizes. Patriarch Eli, the man most responsible for the tremendous success of the family's megachurch, is in mourning over the loss of his wife. Jesse, the eldest of 3 grown Gemstone siblings, looks to lead in his father's footsteps, but finds his past sins jeopardizing the family ministry. Next in line comes middle sister Judy, who secretly lives with her fiancé and dreams of escaping the Gemstone compound. Rounding out the dysfunctional trio is pseudo-hipster Kelvin, the youngest of the preachers and a thorn in Jesse's side. As the family battles numerous threats to the renowned religious empire, they continue to spread the good word and make a solid buck doing so. I watched, I think, the preview. I mean, the very first episode
Sounds
of it.
really good.
It's such a good show. I'm so proud to be on it because it kills.
So are you in season 1 or you're only in season 2?
I just started in season 2.
Okay, so we need to watch season 1 to catch up on it, so when they release season 2, we can see you and we'll know what's going on. All right, everybody, so watch Righteous Gemstones.
Eric, Saturday, the movie that we're going to see, it's your movie. We're driving in. It's 100 miles from Palm Springs to L.A. Is it worth it to drive to see that movie?
I gotta be honest with you, I have not seen the movie, so I'm not responsible. I'm just in it.
Actually, I'll brag for it a little
well, then
bit.
if you're there, we'll make the drive just to see you.
No, we're going to see Eugenia.
Be there.
And
Eugenia, I know. Eugenia is very good friends with a friend of ours, Sue Wong. And I think that Eugenia is probably one of the most beautiful women of it. As beautiful as Charlize Theron. What do you think?
I think you're right.
I mean, Eugenia is breathtakingly beautiful.
So you guys were talking about The Elevator, starring Eric Roberts and Eugenia Kuzmina. The synopsis of it is fabulous. And at the Standalone Film Festival, it won Best Film. Eric won for Best Actor, and it won for Best Director. So obviously it's doing pretty good right out of the gate. And we're going to see it on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a tough film to watch. And the only really great story about making this film was this: we're halfway through the film, and the director and the DP and the producer and me get in a freight elevator to go to another floor to eat, and the elevator gets stuck for 9 minutes, guys. And what occurs to you when you get stuck in an elevator?
I'm like claustrophobic, so I would like be freaking out.
Yeah. Or the cables are going to break and you're going to descend.
I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom anytime soon.
Right.
And see, and I would get nervous and have to go probably, so it would be terrible.
I would feel that I hope the cables are okay. Because
my wife is also claustrophobic. You can imagine she wasn't with us, thank heaven.
Yes, which your wife, by the way, is fabulous. Eliza, thank you so much. You're fabulous.
Eliza, what's up with you? What are you doing next?
She's not in the room right now, guys.
Oh,
so I want to like brag a little bit, you guys. First of all, you've done a bunch of films with some friends of ours, and a bunch of them are in the chat room. There's you just did the Mahal Brothers Arena Worms, and we have a ton of friends. Sherry Davis is in that, and a bunch of people are in that.
Now you know Sean Kanan, right?
Oh yes, yes, it was fun. And then
you know Sean Kanan.
Oh sure.
So we have
Sean's a good friend of ours.
We have a 6 degrees of separation with Sean Kanan because, you know, like 2 years ago when his book came out, Success Factor X, you're one of the celebrities that wrote their idea of success, and I actually wrote the foreword for the book.
Oh, good for us.
So, and I was hoping we were going to meet you then because we did a book signing and there was almost everybody was there, and I was like, oh damn, we didn't get to meet Eric Roberts. I can't believe it. So I'm happy that you're here now. Let's brag a little bit though, because like I was an extra in The Specialist. I used to live in Miami in Fort Lauderdale, and that was a fucking great movie with one of the greatest songs ever for like any movie ever, starring James Woods, Sylvester Stallone, Rod Steiger, and Sharon Stone. I mean, like your movies are just amazing, so I'm just bragging for you. We got Runaway Train with John Voight and Rebecca De Mornay, The Pope of Greenwich Village with Mickey Rourke and Daryl Hannah.
That was a good movie with Mickey.
One of my favorites is The Nature of the Beast with Lance Henriksen, which I don't even know if other people know that movie, but Lance Henriksen is like one of my favorite actors. He's been on the show, and that was such a creepy movie that you don't figure out till the end. Really, I'm not going to tell, but everybody needs to go see. Do you have any cool stories for Nature of the Beast? Because there's a lot of horror movie people in our chat room too.
Just the actual story is the real beef on that.
Yes, everybody needs to see it.
Good movie, man. That's a good movie.
I hope I work with you one day because I do a lot of horror movies.
Well, call me. Send me a script I'll like.
Oh, I already am talking to some people now that I can. Now that I know that your wife is your manager. We also got The Dark Knight, you guys, with Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Aaron Eckhart, Michael Caine, Cillian Murphy, Gary Oldman, Morgan Freeman, and The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham. That's his favorite. Jet Li, Randy Couture, Steve Austin, and Dolph Lundgren.
Hey Eric, how would you like to play the head of the mafia, a mafia don who has a lot of lines? And he's a very important character in a movie I'm doing with Lainey Kazan. She plays my wife.
Actually, Sean Kanan's wife is directing it.
Yeah, and Sean Kanan is in it also. And we're looking for a mafia.
Call
head.
the boss. Call the boss. He said, "I will call the boss."
You have to be real Brooklyn moron, ignoramus, stupid. You know how they are, the Brooklyn people. Well, it's a difficult role. This is a black comedy. It's a comedy, and the mafia king has to be humorous as well as threatening.
I'm very serious and dramatic actor, don't you know?
Yeah, well, no, of course I know that, but sometimes comedy.
No, he's got some good comedies too.
I do drama all the time, and I like comedy once in a while because it breaks it up. You don't always want to do drama. It's nice to do light comedy.
I'm with you, pal.
Anyway, we'll send you the script. See if you like it.
So I have some questions.
There's a lot of dialogue.
Oh my God, the chat room's just freaking out from him too. So the chat room's all freaking out. And they love you, and they love the fact that we're color coordinated. I don't know how we're color coordinated, but that's okay. But okay, so let's talk a little bit. So you've had a long, great history. You're working all the time. I mean, you got more movies on your IMDb than anybody I've ever seen like in my life. So you're working all the time in high demand. Do you have certain projects that are like the projects that you think kind of like are your favorite ones that you've ever done? Or the ones that are the most memorable maybe for you, maybe not the most memorable because of some kind of experience that you had on set?
Okay, I made a lot of movies.
Yes.
So I have a few favorites. My first six favorites are this. Ready?
Yes.
King of the Gypsies, Star 80, Runaway Train, It's My Party, Love is a Gun, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and Purgatory. That's 7.
Oh, that's awesome. So I haven't.
Yeah, those are my 7 favorites, probably.
Okay, I've seen all, but except for the Gypsy one, I didn't see the.
No,
Gypsy
I saw
one.
Gypsy. It was good.
Yeah, that's a good ass movie.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
Frank Pearson wrote and directed it, and it's fantastic.
They want to know who
plays my mom.
Who plays your mom?
Susan Sarandon.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, we're thinking of Susan Sarandon for our movie also. So she's going to be invited in.
I love it. They're all saying that in the chat room. They're all saying Star 80. They all love Star 80. So everybody plugged into almost all of those. And so
that's the best docudrama ever made, bar none. And I will back that up to the day I die. That's the best docudrama ever made. Bob Fosse.
Oh, I love it.
I like Pope. I thought Pope was a very interesting movie for the time. It was kind of a different. It was a trendsetter. What don't you think? Pope was different. It
I
wasn't a
do.
typical. It wasn't a typical movie. Like you went in and saw it, and you walked out thinking, "What did I just see?" You know,
Well,
it's interesting.
you saw a culture and a time and a place that was only there.
Right.
Absolutely.
I found it very very fascinating, and the performances were good. You and what's his face,
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey were fat. No, Mickey's another great actor. You know, he's another intense bull actor, and the two of you really were. That's everybody watch that movie, The Pope of
Greenwich Village.
Greenwich Village.
I finished the sentences.
Speaking of great
Rent it.
performances, did you guys ever see a movie called Barfly?
Yes.
Yes.
It stars Mickey Rourke. It's an unbelievable performance. Oh my God, take your breath away.
I love it. In the chat room, they want to know who are some of your favorite female.
Wait, hang on. There are
Oh.
3 actors of your genre.
genre.
Mickey, you, and Madonna's ex-husband. What's his name?
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Sean Penn is another intense actor who I love. I love to watch Sean Penn work. He's good.
He's a wonderful person to watch.
I'd love to see the 3 of you in a movie.
There we go. Call somebody. Set it up.
I mean,
hey, I will.
It would be overwhelming. I don't think the audiences could take the power of the 3 of you. It would be exhausting.
That's hilarious. In the chat room, they want to know who are some of your favorite female co-stars that you
If
had fun working with.
You leave people out.
Oh, okay. So people that were memorable.
Okay, you know, my 2 favorite female co-stars were probably Kim Basinger and Eliza Roberts.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Kim Basinger, what a beauty.
Absolutely.
What a great actor. What a fantastic actor.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
But she was
so beautiful. She takes your breath away physically. We forget what a great actress she is. My God, she's phenomenal.
And she was
Well, she's one of those actresses that I call a relaxed actress. She doesn't act. She is the part. She doesn't act the part. And that's what makes us
and
so
Final
good.
Analysis is really such a great movie. Like I had forgotten about it till we watched it the other night. I think it was on Tubi. Tubi has everything from the 80s and 90s and early 90s on there. Okay, so let's do a bucket list. Since you've worked with almost every major star in Hollywood, who's a male and female that have yet gotten away from your grasp, but that you think would be fun to do a film with? And then thinking in the background of the same time, if you could have ever been in any film that's ever been made, what film would you have liked to have been in?
If I could have been in any film that's already been made that I wasn't in, it would be Sierra Madre, Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Wow.
Those guys
That's a damn good script.
And yeah, what a story, huh?
Bogart was fabulous in that.
That movie. And what was the other part of that question?
The other part of the question was a male and female actor, actress that you have not worked with yet that you think would be fun to work with.
Oh gosh.
You've worked with almost everybody, so it's hard.
I really want to work with Brad.
There we go.
Brad.
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt. Is there another Brad? I really want to work with Brad Pitt. Let me see. You know, I like a lot of women.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, well, she's a great actor. She's a great actor.
You bet she is.
I want her to gain weight. I want her juicier. You know what? If I name one, I'm gonna leave 8 or 9 out.
Okay, give us 8 or 9.
Now, an old question. Would you have liked, I would love to have seen you work with Anna Magnani.
That'd have been cool, man.
I think that
I always wanted to be a peer of Anthony Quinn, Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift, all those guys who were dynamite actors.
Fabulous.
That kind of acting was like, oh my God, look at that. It blew your mind.
My dream would have been to work. I've worked with Sophia Loren, but I'd like to work with Anna Magnani. but of course it's impossible. She's dead. But I think that Anna Magnani will draw out of you every bit of talent you have, and she was a helper. She was a brilliant, brilliant actress. Brilliant.
So
For the day, if she was in a time when nobody looked pretty, and I mean, she didn't care hair, no makeup. She just went out there and acted. It was wonderful, wonderful. Tony Francioso and I were friends, and he used to talk about Anna when they made "Written on the Wind" and how wonderful she was to work with.
you gotta love it. So to give you a little background with Ron, so Ron used to have a show called Set the Record Straight on TV here in California, and he would interview like a lot of the legends like Lauren Bacall and Tab Hunter and Betty Davis, and Jane Russell was his good friend. So he would interview like Tippi Hedren, like all the older
legends, all the legends.
So he like knows all the, like, if you go turn on Turner Classic Movies, like he's seen he knows who's in every single like movie, even like the obscure movies that nobody saw. He knows who's in all of them.
It was my business of the day, and I love the old. Somebody once argued with me at a luncheon that the old movies nobody could act. It was horrible. That only actors work today and act. I said, no, let's clear up one thing. There's a word called act. If you are acting, you are portraying a part. Today, if you are yourself, you're not acting. You're simply reading lines. And that's how I still feel. Yes, in the 40s, it was corny. Yes, Why Ask for the Moon When We've the Stars? Things like that were corny, but we loved it. We fell in love with we had romance. We had love. Today, it's, I'm going to shoot you, bitch, right between the eyes. And, that's not the kind of dialogue I'm happy with. When a man talks to a woman.
He actually likes the classic movies, though, because he picked one.
Well, he is a classic actor. He's a hangover from the guys he just mentioned. And I hope you don't mind me calling you a hangover, but you're a hangover. No, you're the next generation from the Brando, Newmans, and Paul Newman, all those wonderful, wonderful actors who really could act. They really could.
So much. One of my favorite people I ever worked with was my first movie, my first fake grandfather in a movie, and it was Sterling Hayden.
Oh, and, Sterling, yeah.
What a guy, what an actor, what an everything. He was just a complete human.
Totally understated, totally not recognized by Hollywood. All he wanted to do was get on his sailboat and go. He couldn't care less about acting. He couldn't care less about Betty Davis told me, because she made a movie with him called The Star. And I asked her about Sterling. I said, what was he like? She said he was the strangest guy in the world, Ron. He hated the business. He hated coming to work. He hated working. All he wanted to do was go on his sailboat and sail away. And that's what he did.
Did you hear the story about his divorce? He and his wife were having a custody battle. And he said, look, you win. I can't afford this anymore. I'm going to take the kids out on the boat over the weekend. I'm going to bring them back, and this is done. We're done on Monday morning. Okay. See you Monday morning, blah, blah. He left, and he brought them back 12 years later when they're old enough to make their own decisions. He went to Paris, and he stayed there for 12 years.
Well, he was a very handsome man. 6'5", 6'5", sort of a Troy Donahue, Tab Hunter type. And he was a very handsome man.
I have a weird question for you, and it's actually a request from the chat room. So B. Claudia, she lives in Germany. She's like the greatest, coolest lady, and she's an art collector. Actually, say hi to B so she can like freak out.
Hey, baby.
She wants to know the art on the background. Who painted it?
That's a Monet.
Is it really?
It's not a real Monet, of course.
Okay. Well, it could be. You're Eric Roberts.
No, I'm not that Eric
Roberts. You'd have to make a lot of movies to buy a Monet.
Oh man,
yeah, a lot of movies.
Yeah, that's a print of a Monet.
So Eric, what do you like as a person? Like, who are you? Are you a regular Joe? If I came to your house, I'd have a coffee with you, sit and we bullshit, shoot the breeze. Or are you a Hollywood star and you have attitude and you think who you are? Who are you?
Well, of course, you know how I'm going to answer that question, but
hopefully, yeah.
But, it's interesting when you become recognizable, it becomes a job to be recognizable, and that you have to take care of everybody who recognizes you, because if you don't, they hold it against you.
Yes,
absolutely.
So it becomes a job being famous, and it becomes a job that you have to learn how to do well and you have to make it look effortless, and you have to make it look like it's a pleasure, even when you got to be somewhere. So it's a real sign of maturity if you're a good celebrity because it's hard work and it's
Yes, it
constant.
is.
You're never off, especially if you travel airports and airplanes. You're never off, and you're trapped, and everybody has a camera.
Oh no, you're trapped is
Right.
right.
There's no such thing as privacy. That's
None.
gone with the wind. That's gone. You don't have.
I have to
privacy.
tell you though, because I probably have 15 friends who've been in movies that you're in, or they were producing movies that you were in, or whatever, and I've never heard anybody say anything but wonderful things about you.
Yeah, I
And
have people too that your name has come up in a couple of things. Yeah,
everybody speaks very
right,
highly of you, so I
right.
think you're doing a very good, mature job
Mhm.
at handling all the like fame thing.
Yep.
And I didn't even think about being on an airplane, being trapped. I mean, like shit. Like if you're on the street, at least you can run to your car and drive away. But if you're in an airplane, you're screwed.
No, I asked Betty about that, and I asked Jane Russell, who was my best friend. I said, Jane, two things I want to know. How does it feel being old? And she said to me, Ron, how the fuck do you think it feels? That was her exact words. I said, it's painful, right? She said, well, I look at pictures of myself when I was young and I look at myself now. Of course it's painful. She said, but you know, you roll with the punches.
Well,
And
those old broads weren't alive in the days of the cell phone camera. In back in those,
no,
you'd say where are
no,
the cameras, and you went the other way. Now everybody has a camera. There's nowhere to go.
no, I know.
Yeah, you're
When
right.
I would go to dinner or lunch with Jane all the time, and people would recognize her in a restaurant, and they'd come over and they'd say, Miss Russell, can I have an autograph? And Jane would say, no, come and take a picture. And she took a picture with them because she couldn't be bothered writing the autograph. But Betty Davis said to me, and I love this story. I said, how do you feel about thousands of people constantly coming up to you in restaurants all over, annoying you and saying how much they love you? And she said, there's a story. We were at Le Moustache and having lunch, and a bunch of gay guys recognized her, and they came running over and they said, Miss Davis, I adore you. I love you. I love you. And Betty kept saying, of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. And I thought that was so classic. I was hysterical laughing. She said, of course you do. You adore me, you know. So she knew how to get rid of crowds. She agreed with them. She never went against them. But she didn't like it. She did not like people annoying her, especially when she was putting on lipstick or eating. She didn't like to be caught that way.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. So, well, with a career like you've had, I mean, I'm sure there's nobody who doesn't recognize you because you
No,
actually,
of course, everybody.
you
knows
actually
who it
hit
is.
every age. You know, he's 81, I'm 56, and we have a ton of people in the chat room. And probably a lot of them are in their 30s. You know, so like everybody knows you no matter where you go. So I guess you're kind of like stuck, but at least you've got a great body of work to go with it. You guys, Eric's Instagram, you guys, is Eric Roberts Actor. His Twitter is at Eric Roberts, and we got like 5 minutes left because I told him
Funny
we get him
story,
out.
Richard Grieco. You know Richard, of course, Richard
course I do.
Grieco. And Richard and I were peeing next to each other at a red carpet. While we were peeing together, I said to him, "Do you want to come on my TV show?" And he said to me, he was, excuse me for coughing. He said, "I've never been asked to do a job while peeing." I said, "Well, now you have." And Richard and I laugh about it all the time. We talk
I have
about
a
it.
peeing story as well. I have a peeing story as well.
Okay.
The last play that Paul Newman did at the Actors Studio, it was a 3-character piece. He played a judge. I played a lawyer who was his son, and his wife, Joanne Woodward, played his wife in the play. And we're rehearsing one night, and we both go in the men's room. There's a toilet and two urinals there, and we walk in there, and he's at one urinal, I'm at another. We're relieving ourselves, and there's a wall in between, but we can look over it. And another man walks in, and he goes to the toilet, and he's also relieving himself, standing up, and he looks over at Paul to see Paul's business. And it's kind of obvious. He's looking at Paul's business, and Paul says, "There's a star on the end of it." And I mean, Paul Newman. That was so cool.
Okay. I was at the Beverly
My mother
Hills.
works there.
I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and who comes to pee next to me? Right, with all those the Beverly Hills Hotel has 100 urinals.
Skulls. Yeah.
Who comes next to me? But what's that?
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty. And Warren is peeing, and he smiles at me, and I smile back. But I never look to see his business. I wouldn't do that, and he didn't me either. But he was very polite. We were smiling at each other while we were peeing. I mean, that's funny, peeing with Warren Beatty. It kind of bonds you, peeing with
How
Warren
many
Beatty.
people can say that?
Right, they peed with Warren Beatty or Richard Grieco.
Yeah.
But but listen, we're human. We have to pee. We're not really we're not paper dolls.
Which is actually hilarious. I love the whole thing.
Right.
So you guys, Eric. So what other things you guys?
What's a Christmas like?
Let's talk to the chat room. I wanna answer questions.
Okay, go. There was a whole bunch of people in there. Actually, you guys write something in there. The biggest thing was the artwork. They were like loving the artwork and
ask him a question, folks.
Let's all get our cameras on and pee.
We have a witty chat room.
Yes, we do. They're all like in
what's
there.
a typical Christmas like at your house?
Christmas, we have lots of families in the family. So what I do is I have a great big chair. I turn on football and open my gifts and sit down, and I have everybody's presents I want to give, and they can come get them. And I kind of hold court all day. And
so you play Santa. You play Santa.
I kind of do. I don't go anywhere. I try not to. Sometimes I
right.
do.
They're actually talking about your wonderful hair. They want to know if you miss soap operas, which I didn't even know you did soap operas.
Soap opera work is the hardest work there is for an actor. And I was also never very good at it. And I know that. I'm my biggest fan. Don't get me wrong. I was never good on soap, ever. And I'm aware of that because I'm not a quick study, and you get stuff and you get rewrites and you got to learn it right then. I don't work that way. I'm not good that way.
Also, you can't deliver the dialogue in a soap opera. The dialogue is like brainless.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Tristan Rogers is our good friend. He's a soap star. So is Sean Kanan.
Michael Damian.
Michael Damian is our friend. We have friends. Every one of the soap operas guys are my friends. But I would love to see them do a role that you did. They couldn't do it. They would not know how to do what you do when you work.
On the soap opera, they're better than I ever was on a soap opera.
Yes, on a soap. They're soap geniuses. They can read 40 pages in 1 minute and go out there and do 40-page dialogue. Tristan has told me this.
That's an art unto itself.
Absolutely.
No, it's not. It's called reading lines. Now, when you work, you study the character, you develop the character, you get into the character, and when I watch you work, I believe what you're selling me. I don't believe it in a soap opera.
Oh my God, they're asking hair questions. Like they love your hair. I guess, and I'm assuming that's your hair, right?
Well, all these are all plugs right here. That's a bald spot.
Is it really? Yeah, I know. I thought so.
No, I got very lucky in the hair department. I got mom's color and I got dad's texture.
So then they also want to know about what's your latest horror film. Have you done a horror film lately?
I have. You know what? I'm really bad on the titles. Go to imdb.com. That can tell you everything better than I can about my employment.
Do you like horror movies? I know you've done quite a few. Is it a genre that you would actually watch if you weren't acting in them?
When a horror movie is good, there's almost nothing better.
But how many good ones are there?
Yeah, I know.
They all stink.
But I love making them. They're fun to make. I act like a child on a set. It's just fun. It's like a great big camp.
I agree. I have three of them out of mine right now, and I do them only because I like working with the kids. All the actors, they're my friends, and I love the set. But as far as the work goes, it's terrible. I hate it. I prefer to do feature films that are valuable and sensible. I think my parts are stupid that I play. I think I don't
horror films in our world.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of I'm in a million, but I'm not a fan of them.
I am.
Not a fan. No.
I love horror. I love cheesy horror films. I think they're fun.
My favorite horror film of all time is not at all cheesy, and it's Baby Jane.
Oh, I love that movie. We just watched it the other night.
Right.
Movie.
I watched it the other night.
Betty didn't care for it. Betty got $60,000 She was broke
At
as
the
a bat.
time,
She didn't
at
have
the
any
time,
money. She was broke.
about $1 million.
She was broke as a bat, and she got, I think, 60,000. She told me, and she hated the idea of being exploited with Joan Crawford. She just felt the whole thing was absolutely not who she was. She was
So
very unhappy with
He
all.
he watches it because he watched it.
Well, I watch it because I love Betty and I miss her. But she did quite a few horror movies, and they were all to her dismay. She did not like any of them. She
well,
just felt
Baby
that
Jane was fun to watch. That was a fun
Oh,
movie.
I loved it.
they were.
Yeah,
She
and
was
I
being
freaking loved
she
it
was being
too.
sold short, is what she said.
Now they're talking about they watched you on Burn Notice. It's one of their favorite TV shows. And say hi to Angela. She's one of the executive producers on the Mahal
No,
movie
but
you
when
just
Eric,
did.
when Eric works, some of Eric's movies are very intense movies with a great character. You know, a good script, good character. That's the
Somebody was
movies, right?
asking about Burn Notice. Burn Notice was one of the most professional sets I've ever been lucky enough to be on. It worked like clockwork. Everybody was cool. Everybody had their lines learned. All the camera department was on top of it. It was a lot of tough camera moves. Everybody was cool. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, we shot at an airport, uh, private airport hangar. It was hard, and that was a great experience.
It was a
So,
great
somebody was
show. I lived in Florida then, and I was a featured extra on that one, so I made like way more money in like 5 episodes because I was anything in Florida, you could get on, you could be and go on set and meet people, and
all
so it
great
was fun.
shows get canceled except Friends. That was a great show.
Yes,
You got a good run.
I have
God, that
6
show was good
movies.
every week, wasn't it?
yes, I loved it. Oh, I thought it was fabulous.
I have 6 movies coming up, and I think how many are horror? Three are not horror, thank God, and I believe 3 are horror.
He's got 600 movies coming
Well,
up.
he's Eric Roberts. I'm Ron Russell. There's a little difference.
You
here.
gotta love it. So you guys, this is Eric Roberts. You gotta check out his new movie. I guess we'll let everybody know when it's distributed and it's out for everybody to see it. It's called The Elevator. You can follow him on Instagram at Eric Roberts Actor.
Oh wait, he's in Sadie's movie, The Elevator.
No, this is a different one called The Elevator.
Oh.
Sadie's is a working title, The Elevator. His Twitter is Eric Roberts, you guys. He's got great stuff, and I guess the biggest thing everybody needs to go see is Righteous Gemstones. So when season 2 comes out on HBO, we can actually watch him in it. He's a superstar. Anything else you want us to get out to the people? Because by the time this show is over, at least 5 million people will hear it. You got anything? Just tell anything else
and see it.
I have these 3 remarkable children. Emma Roberts, great actor. Keaton Simons, great singer, songwriter, musician. Keaton Simons, you go to his website or my webpage, ericrobertsactor.com. You can find him. And Morgan Simons, the chef, who wants to open a restaurant that she wants to call Taste.
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
That's so funny because I didn't know Keaton Simons was your son.
Oh yeah.
And I actually saw a bunch of tweets, and so I was retweeting stuff, but I didn't know he was your son. I was just retweeting because I listened to some of the music and
why a different name?
And I don't know, but that's his band name, I guess. And I'm a publicist is how I support myself besides producing films. And I got named the best music publicist. So anytime I see something about a musician, I always jump on it to listen to it. So he's super talented
because he has a different father named Jimmy Simons, who's a big time producer, but I've been his mom's husband since he was a little bitty boy.
Okay. There you go. That's all. I'm adopted, so that's cool. I love that.
Good.
All right, so you guys, this is Eric Roberts. Hopefully, we're going to see you on Saturday. We want to thank you.
Listen, Eric, be a buddy, huh? We're driving 100 miles from Palm Springs to LA. Be there. We want to meet you. We want to see you. We want to hug you. We want to say hello.
I also want to thank Holly Davidson.
Be a sport.
I want
to
thank Holly Davidson for setting this up for us, and thank your wife for helping facilitate it. She's fabulous.
And in answer to my question before, are you a snobby Hollywood movie star? No, you're not. Yes, I could come to your house and sit and have a coffee with you and bullshit. You're a regular Joe. You're a good guy.
Well, thank you so much.
You're okay in my book. You're not one of those Hollywood bullshit artist phonies that we all hate so much. Ugh.
And if you have anything else to promote, because this show will get probably our best show is John Barrowman. I don't know if you know who John Barrowman is, but we got 10 million plays on John Barrowman. But I think that we're gonna get. I think we'll get at least 5 million on this because everybody loves you.
More.
So we want to thank you so much for taking time to come on the show. We wish you the best in everything that you do. Thank your wife, your grandchildren, your kids. And congratulations on a stellar career. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
We'll
Go to
see
the website, ericrobertsactor.com.
There we go. All right, you guys.
See you Saturday.
Bye.
Hopefully.
All right.
Bye, Eric.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Now he's a regular Joe. This is a regular guy. Down to earth, nice. The people I like.